On Osrc News at 7, of distribution state judiciary launches e-filing towards ties and Good evening for joining the news. The present administration in Ondo State will not shy away from efforts aimed at blocking leakages in government spending while promoting effective governance through transparency and accountability. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who played host to the coalition of civil society organizations in the state, said all hands are on deck to sustain policies and programs that improve the well-being of residents. The governor, who commended the group its roles which help solve some social and political challenges in society, urged more support for its administration. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The coalition of civil society organizations in Ondo State was led to the governor's office in Akure by its chairman, Franklin Oloniju. The visitors, who applauded Governor Aiyedatiwa for his strides to make the state better, noted some societal challenges and social vices, including children abandonment, rape, inadequate access to healthcare services by pregnant women, and budget performance by ministries, departments, and agencies.
We mean well for the government, but we know that the government resources is not infinite, and so there are funds out there that can be accessed, and the only person that can get that fund is not a multilateral issue, it's not a UNDP issue. There are salient money out there, 30, 20, 50, $3 million out there that we can access, and I think we need it, sir, because they will relieve you.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who noted the importance of the group in societal development, appreciated its numerous constructive engagements. Aiyedatiwa, who said the partnership being promoted by the group for service delivery draws the attention of government to social and political issues, thanked them for readiness to promote the state's development. The governor promised to look into some of the societal challenges faced by the group.
This is an election year, and when you combine that with governance, there's no way to tell governance. But we are trying our best to ensure that both governance and the engineering, one will not suffer from the other. All that is required to tidy up most of the projects that may not be completed and the budget is skewed that way. That doesn't mean that people will not enjoy the benefits of democracy. The dividends, they are there. We're trying our best. And that is the only way we can achieve good project performance, especially in the area of capital expenditure.
Aiyedatiwa restated the resolve of his administration to sustain and promote policies and programs that improve the security architecture of the state towards enhancing food sufficiency and overall well-being of residents. The governor said his commitment to block leakages in government resources is unwavering. In an interview, Mr. Oloniju described the engagement with the governor as fruitful. He promised more collaboration with the state government towards overall development. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Towards enhancing food security and supporting the agricultural sector, the present administration in Ondo State has launched a distribution of fertilizers to farmers across the state. Performing the ceremony in Akure, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa assured that the distribution would be conducted fairly and transparently, emphasizing that the fertilizers are not for sale and must not be politicized. The governor thanked President Bola Tinubu for facilitating the fertilizer supply through the Central Bank of Nigeria, acknowledging the move as a crucial step to boost food production. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole again has the report.
The flag-off ceremony held at the Agric Warehouse in Akure attracted a large turnout of farmers and other stakeholders in the sector. In his address of welcome, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Agriculture and Agribusiness and Chairman of the Committee on Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Rotimi Wemimo, promised effective and transparent distribution of the fertilizers.
One of the important missions for Mr. Governor is youth. We should take this opportunity to help the youth in delivering this fertilizer to the youth in the program. It is extremely important that we put the youth along in when we're doing this in the local government. That is one of the evidence that we need to make sure that the youth are carried along when this fertilizer is being distributed.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who renewed his pledge to sustain and improve efforts that promote food sufficiency in the state, thanked President Bola Tinubu for facilitating the fertilizer supply through the Central Bank of Nigeria, acknowledging it as a crucial step to boost food production. The governor identified several factors contributing to food scarcity, including insecurity, lack of financing, poor road network, climate change, urbanization, and limited access to farmland. He highlighted some government initiatives to change the narrative, including construction of rural roads, enhancement of security architecture, and distribution of over 1,200 metric tons of maize to farmers.
It is our collaborative effort towards combating hunger that we are gathered here again this day to flag off the distribution of 5,520 bags of NPK 2010-10, 4,140 bags of NPK 27-13-13, 4,140 bags of NPK 15-15-15, and 4,200 bags of urea fertilizers to farmers across the 18 local government area of the state.
Governor Aiyedatiwa announced new measures to boost food production, including a 1 billion naira fund for subsidized agricultural inputs and tractor hiring for land preparation at 25% subsidized rate for farmers, and another 1 billion naira for the sale of subsidized food commodities at 25% rate.
Food insecurity is a serious problem that has to be tackled with all seriousness. This can only be achieved when all hands are on deck and through interventions that will boost food production at various levels. It is no longer news that there is hunger in the land, as our farmers are finding it difficult to go to their farms. Hence, there is the need to provide security and build the capacity of our farmers through provision of certain facilities and infrastructure.
The governor reaffirmed his dedication to improve the security architecture of the state towards enhancing food sufficiency while arresting hunger. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The renovated Students' Union Government Building of the Margaret Mosumola College of Health, Science and Technology, OWO, has been inaugurated. The facilitator of the project, Olaolu Solomon, who is also the Senior Special Assistant to Ondo State Governor on Student Affairs, Olaolu Solomon, restated government's resolve at enhancing the educational sector of the state. Joy Pius now completes the story.
To enable the Students' Union Government of the Margaret Mosumola College of Health, Science and Technology, OWO, function effectively, this building within the school premises was given a facelift. The project is a fulfillment of the promise made by Olaolu Solomon, the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa on Students' Affairs. According to the Students' Union representative, lack of convenient atmosphere to carry out legislative duties prompted the meeting with the Governor's Aide on Student Affairs, which birthed this initiative.
We are proud to present to you the Honorable Kevin Solomon Olaolu Aluta Paradise. As we have said, and that apart from this place being our mini campus, we also have the plans with the approval of our provost and the governing board of the school. We also have plans of replicating this same structure when we get to our permanent site.
The Senior Special Assistant to Governor on Students' Affairs, Olaolu Solomon, noted the efforts of government in the transformation of the education sector, which has translated to development of future leaders in the state.
In the name of the Son,
Amen.
And in the name of the Holy Ghost,
Amen.
This is a private institution, and as we know, presently the government is actually concentrating on state-owned institution. They've presented themselves that they want to be part of the state government. We had no choice than to bring them because they are also from our soil. Being a health institution, we know it goes a long way. It's an additional progress for us in this state.
The provost of the institution, Dr. Isaac Oyegoke, applauded government for the move and assured that the building would be maintained and judiciously used.
Moving close to the government with what we have been seeing that the governor is doing, it will be of a great benefit if we allow them to know what we have in stock and what we can offer the society. That is why we come up with this initiative, and we can only drive this initiative through the student representative. So give our students the platform to operate and form alliance politically, so that this thing can be like a bridge between the institution and the state government. So that's why we come up with this initiative, and we thank God that the state government accepted that, and they have been of great support to the institution.
The institution was assured of continued support from the state government, with a view to collaborating towards a guaranteed future for the youths. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigeria's former head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, on his 83rd birthday. This is contained in a statement by Chief Ajuri Ngelale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity in Abuja. It noted Babangida's endeavors towards the development of the nation, especially in infrastructure and other areas. Tinubu lauded the celebrant's efforts in the completion of the 3rd Milan Bridge, which at the time was the longest bridge in Africa. Babangida, founded called IBB, was Nigeria's military president from 1985 to 1993. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has felicitated the Chief Imam of Owo Land and Chairman, League of Imams and Affairs of Ondo State, Alhaji Sheikh Alade Shawe, on his 90th birthday celebration. A true servant of Allah and an inspiration to many. Aiyedatiwa also celebrated the incredible impact that Alhaji Alade Shawe has had on the Muslim community in particular and on the state in general. Governor Aiyedatiwa also praised the cleric for imparting knowledge and always spreading messages of love and spiritual guidance to everyone around him. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, Nigerian Medical Association seeks urgent rescue of abducted medical students. Please do rejoin us for this and more. Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook. The world is grappling with the harsh effect of a prolonged lack of rainfall, resulting in severe drought and dislocation of human health and plant life. This has also brought communities to the brink of environmental and health challenges. According to medical professionals and agricultural experts, scarcity of rainfall is having a profound impact on both human health and farming. Abidemi Akerotoyi now reports.
A world ravaged by drought, where the once lush fields turn to dust and the rivers run dry. This is the reality facing communities worldwide as the seizure of rain continues to wreak havoc on our planet. The weather change has brought devastation to the land, leaving plants withered and humans struggling to adapt to the weather change. In this harsh new reality, the consequences of this dry spell are felt by all. The rice farmer George Oladapo emphasized the essential role of rainfall in sustaining farms' productivity, drawing from his own experience of navigating its scarcity. He urged farmers to stay abreast of yearly rainfall trends, encouraging them to anticipate and respond to adverse weather conditions, such as the ongoing drought.
Most plants cannot grow without rainfall. And one thing that is very important is that the rainfall pattern, I will implore NIMET in collaboration with the state government to bring about a sensitization of our farmers and every other person, every other commodity associations to be actively involved in the sensitization of rainfall pattern for the year so that farmers can prepare adequately ahead of what is expected.
Another farmer, John Akinova, emphasized the difficulties faced by farmers during this season. He noted that relying on a single crop variety can be risky, as some crops are more resilient to the challenging weather conditions than others. He advised farmers to diversify their crops to minimize losses and ensure a more stable harvest.
The agricultural product is going to be affected by the impact of the drought. And when the rain starts falling, it might fall even more heavier than what we are talking of. If you are farming, if you depend on one mono crop, when there's impact, it might affect the production and affect the family income. So these are some of the challenges.
A medical expert, Oluseyi Adewale, attributed the current health concern to the fluctuating weather patterns, explaining how the changing weather conditions impact human health.
People will be complaining of body pains, having cough, and the rest. These may not be signs or symptoms of any illness per se, but due to the changes in the weather. So we should try as much as possible to keep ourselves warm. We should avoid self-medication.
In addition to highlighting the health concerns, also outlined essential safety measures to help individuals cope with the unpredictable weather patterns.
As long as it lasts, let's prepare ourselves. Eat well, eat natural food, avoid extreme cold food, keep yourself warm, take warm water when necessary, take warm bath when necessary, regular medical checkup. When feeling unwell, visit hospitals.
Other respondents are, however, hopeful that the weather will soon return to normal. Abidemi Akerotoyi, Osrc News.
And still talking about health commissioners from the 36 states of the country have commended the leadership of Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, in the light of the recent outbreak of cholera, diphtheria, and mpox. They, however, called for made this known in a communique issued at the end of their third quarterly meeting in Abuja. They recognized the shortage of skilled healthcare workers and thus the need for innovative strategies to train and retrain healthcare professionals nationwide. The Commission has also acknowledged the growing and alarming incidence of non-communicable diseases and renal diseases and the urgent need for increased awareness, prevention, and treatment options. They also called on all stakeholders, including the private sector and civil society, to support these initiatives to build a healthier and more prosperous Nigeria. And now the Association of Resident Doctors at University of Abuja Teaching Hospital UATH chapter is demanding the immediate release of a kidnapped colleague, Dr. Wopola, a medical doctor at the National Eye Center in Kaduna, was abducted with her husband and nephew on December 27, 2023. The ARD resident, UATH, Dr. Abba Innocent, called on the management of the hospital and the federal government to intervene for a quick release of their member. Innocent said that kidnappers and abductors had now seen businesses among health workers who work throughout the day and night to give the best health care to their patients. He urged the government to task all the relevant security agencies to rise up to the task and ensure the release of the kidnapped resident doctor. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has called on the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to urgently intervene in the abduction of 20 medical students who were kidnapped on their way to Enugu for a conference. The NMA Secretary General, Dr. Benjamin Egbo, disclosed this in a letter to the IGP, which was posted on the association's social media platform X. According to the NMA, the incident occurred between Otukpo and Enugu in Benue State, and one of the abducted students managed to share the location via Google Maps, indicating they were in the Oglewu Eaja area. The association expressed deep concern for the safety and well-being of the students and urged the police to deploy the necessary resources to secure their immediate and safe return. The NMA also offered to provide assistance and support to facilitate the police efforts in rescuing the abducted students. A magistrate court is sitting in Ilorin has sentenced 40 persons to a 3-month jail term each, violation of the Kwara State environmental law. The defendants, who are residents of Ilorin, were arraigned on different charges ranging from indiscriminate disposal of refuse, encroachment, and illegal scavenging. They all pleaded guilty to the offences. Presiding Magistrate Said Tunde Abdulkarim sentenced the defendant to 3 months imprisonment each, with an option of 50,000 naira fine, in line with the provisions of Section 5 to Section 1 to 4 of the State Environmental Law. 31 of the defendants were arrested for indiscriminate disposal of refuse, while 9 were apprehended for illegal scavenging. Speaking on the judgments, the State Commissioner for Environment and Forestry, Honorable Nafisat Buge, who welcomed the development, said the motive behind the continuous reinforcement of the environmental law was to curb the outbreak of diseases, flood disasters, and other dangers inherent in an indiscriminate dumping of refuse. The Commissioner urged residents of Ilorin to always use the rural bins placed to strategic locations within the metropolis or seek the services of commercial waste collectors who only charge a token for proper waste management. As part of the efforts to digitize filing processes, the Ondo State Judiciary has launched the State Court Management Information System to automate its filing processes. The new system was formally launched by the Chief Judge, Justice Olusegun Odushola, at the High Court in Akure. The Chief Judge said the Court Management Information System would seamlessly Justice Odushola said some of the judiciary staff and members of the Nigerian Bar Association have been trained in the system for effective usage. The Chief Registrar yesterday at Janaku noted that the system enabled a transition from the old method of manual filing of court processes to a user-friendly automated system. The acting chairman of the State Internal Revenue Service, Adebayo Rojuboko, stressed that the court information system would not only automate the judiciary payment, but also improve the state's revenue. And now we move to the foreign scene. The Israeli military has bombed a warehouse sheltering displaced Palestinians in the Azawida area of central Gaza, killing 15 members of one family, including 9 children. The civil defense spokesman in Gaza, Mahmoud Bazal, said that 15 people killed in the attack were members of the Ajal family, with 3 women among the dead. The total toll from the attack was 16. 3 Israeli missiles hit the warehouse located a few kilometers south of the Nuseirat refugee camp. The attack struck the Agilia family, killing its patriarch, Sami, along with his wife, mother, and all his children, according to Abduladi Alija, a cousin of the victim. Ukrainian Army Chief Oleksandr Sikorski stated that Kiev's forces have made significant progress, advancing between 1 and 3 kilometers in various areas within the Kursk region. The advancement comes 11 days after the initiation of their incursion into Russian territory. Sikorski highlighted that these gains reflect a strategic shift and ongoing efforts to consolidate and expand Ukrainian control in the region. Adirunke Kolawole has more.
Ukraine's military releases video purporting to show the first day of an incursion into the Kursk region of Russia along its border. It said these men were Russian soldiers waving a white flag of surrender. 11 days after the start of Ukraine's surprise attack on Russian territory, President Volodymyr Zelensky received a briefing on the operation from Army Chief Oleksandr Sikorski.
In some directions, we have advanced 1 to 3 kilometers toward the enemy. The fighting is ongoing along the whole front line. In general, the situation is under control. Everything is carried out following the plan.
Sikorski said he discussed this battlefield situation with the chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff as well. Ukraine said the incursion was needed to force Russia. We sent its forces into Ukraine in 2020 to start fair peace talks. An influential aide to Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the West and the U.S.-led NATO alliance had helped to plan Ukraine's surprise attack. Washington has denied this. Meanwhile, Putin shared a meeting of Russian Security Council and said the discussion would focus on new technical situations being employed in the military operation. Russia also released footage it said showed the destruction of a rocket launcher in Ukraine moments after it was used in the attack on the Kursk region. Ukraine's interior minister said it has set up storage facilities on its border to hold and send humanitarian aid to Russian civilians in the territory it occupies. Kyiv officials have said they plan to create evacuation corridors from the Kursk region and to open access to international humanitarian missions. Russia's state-run tax news agency reported Ukraine forces destroyed a bridge there, hindering civilians' evacuations by land. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
And now we'll move to sports. In a bid to promote sporting activities at the grassroots, the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has inaugurated the Odatiwa Youth Empowerment Football Competition. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Olaide Adelami, performed the inauguration of the state and local organized committees in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Government House correspondent Zimo Ebiemi has the details as presented from our studios.
The governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, commended the organizers of the tournament for keying into the state development agenda of engaging youth through sports and
vibrant, energetic, talented, innovative, and highly adventurous. But the lack of productive engagement of this critical category of the society has, over time, led to youth restiveness. There are sufficient evidences around us that grassroots sports development is an impetus to economic growth because it has the capability to bring an unknown youth in the remotest parts of the world to global stardom. Our own Victor Boniface rose from being a grassroots footballer here in Akure to national limelight playing for the Super Eagles, and now a top striker for Bayern Leverkusen. World Yodachiwa Youth Empowerment Football Competition is kicking off today. It's a potent tool to help discover this raw talent.
Convener of Odatiwa Youth Empowerment Football Competition, Akan Kibobula, lauded Ayedatiwa for being a sports-friendly governor.
Mr. Governor and his deputy believe that if we create a platform for youths that have innate talents, but there's no platform for them to express themselves and become Osimhen, and become Okocha, and become Wabali, those innate talents will just die and fizzle away, and nothing is achieved. Mr. Governor, having discussed with his deputy, decided to engage Sparkling Eagle Sports International to host and run this program in such a way that the program will get to every nook and cranny of Ondo State. And who are the people that would run this program? These are the gentlemen and ladies here seated, Your Excellency. These are the people that will make things happen in Ondo State.
Akimbobula said all football clubs from the world to state level will be given the chance to participate in the tournament so as to capture all categories of youth in the 18th council areas.
And that concludes the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at one of the top stories. We told you that Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has launched the distribution of fertilizers to farmers across Ondo State. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.
Mama wa Evangelist Mrs. Veronica Folashade Oluwasusi